Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, between a rock and a hard place. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So, we have found ourselves in similar places in the past when we get between these two critical levels and we have a grueling battle between the bears and the bulls. And today, Bitcoin is back up a couple $1,000s. So as we all quietly exit the caves we've been hiding in, we take a look at what has been going on with Bitcoin this week. And you can see fairly clearly, in fact, that the battle here is taking place between that 50-week moving average at around 47.4 and the bull market support band, which is around 52K. All right, so maybe just above 52K. So during this week, we've had wicks to the upside, we've had wicks to the downside. Right now, we're sort of like in between both moving averages. Clearly, there is a battle going on, and we're kind of getting squeezed between them. Okay, so the 50-week though, it will continue moving higher. Okay, so like if you were to take a measured move and go back, say 50 weeks, we're essentially we're going to be replacing prices all the way down in the mid 20s with something around 48, 49, 50K. So the 50-week moving average will move higher in the short term. Okay, it will. So right now it's at 47.4. We have a weekly close coming up here in a couple of days. So we can imagine that 50-week moving average is going to continue moving higher. Whereas the 20-week moving average is slowly starting to slow down a little bit. Okay, if you go back, say 20 weeks with Bitcoin, we were all the way down at 30K. All right, so it is still slightly going up, right? It hasn't rolled over yet, but it's not going to be increasing as quickly with the price, coming back down into this area. So, we still do have a chance to get back above the bull market support band by the weekly close. If that doesn't happen, if we don't get above it, then it would really be nice to at least hold that 50-week moving average at around 47.4. If we go below that, then I think clearly the next area of support would be around 40 to 42K. That being the prior local top back in January. We also found a decent amount of resistance there in the past. So then theoretically, perhaps it could act as some support in the event of going below the 50-week. But look, guys, we'll see what happens. I certainly don't think the market cycle is over. I still think we have a long way to go. And there's a lot of people that think, we're basically done for the next 3 years. We'll see what happens. Okay, I do think Bitcoin still has a lot left in the tank for this market cycle. Clearly right now there is a fairly grueling battle between that 50-week moving average and that bull market support band. So let's watch the weekly close. Okay, let's see where we end up. Best case scenario that's realistic would be getting back above the bull market support band. Okay, so we want to get back above 52K. If we're below that, then one of the things I see is anytime Bitcoin pumps like $1,000 or $2,000, a lot of people get super excited and say, like it's immediately going to go to the moon. Look, if it does, great. But at the same time, we want to be pragmatic in the sense of we know that we would like to get above 52K, right? Let's get above 52K. That's the battle. 52K is the battle. Let's get above that. Let's close above it. And then if we can, then we can proceed from there. We can try to hold that 20-week for a little bit and then trend higher. Until then, we are still in our sandbox that we were in once upon a time over here, right? We were in the sandbox over here. We're now back in the sandbox. And look, we want to get back above it. Okay, so right now we're sort of in between the wicks to the 50-week and the bull market support band. We have the weekly close coming in 2 days. So let's see what happens. Let's see if Bitcoin can get back above those critical levels, because if we can, then you could equate this move to the downside. You could say it's somewhat similar to that 20-week or going below the 20-week back in 2013, right? So back in 2013, we had a weekly close below the bull market support band. We got right back above it the following week. Now we did not get back above the 21-week EMA, but we did get above the 20-week SMA. Or sorry, we did not get above the 20-week SMA. We got back above the 21-week EMA. So today, obviously, we don't have quite as much volatility. Therefore, the range here between the 20-week SMA and the 21-week EMA is not nearly as high. but that's certainly what I'm looking for. No one's going to get out of bed for a 51K Bitcoin at this point, especially with it being below the 20-week SMA. Let's get to 52K if possible and see if we can hold there. Anything below that, I would still urge people to be cautious. Always be cautious, right? But until we're back above that, we want to, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Okay, so we know what we need to do. That's the task that we'd like to see Bitcoin complete, and now we just have to wait until we get back above those levels. So if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, check out the premium list into thecryptoverse.com if you want to know how I'm navigating the market. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.